Whoa, that was sour. Oh, don't hog that all, Steve. Here's my cup. Pour it out. Hey, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steve, and this is 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing, pouring, New Holland Brewing Dragon's Milk Bourbon Barrel Aged Stout podcast.
I decided when I got that diabetes that I would drink beer only when it was good beer, a special beer. And
this is that real good.
This is that good. I mean, I have a Coors every now and then, but I'm trying to not go crazy with the beer these days. All right, first ad.
I, on the other hand, am locked into a job that I need to probably figure out a way to not be working anymore.
Whoa. What does that have to do with beer? That's a total side tangent.
It means that my drinking frequency has increased.
Ah, I see. Got that stressed job drinking, huh?
This first ad was sent by Isaac Arbeck. It's called Kiss My Bass.
It doesn't make any sense because it's spelled bass, like bass, but it doesn't rhyme with... That was a sticker for fish, not for a bass.
Oh, it's Kiss My Sweet
Bass. It rhymes more like with face. It's like kiss my sweet face.
Yeah. 1968 Fender Mustang bass guitar body. Here's a 1960s Fender Mustang bass body. The guitar it came from was dated 1968. So if it was dated in 1968, it's probably made in like around 1950.
It's sweet that it was dated then, but when did it get married?
Like 1972, probably.
When's the real anniversary?
As you can tell, it's been heavily modified. It has a monkey grip carved into it, and the entire thing has been painted brown and adorned with stickers.
That's not a monkey grip. That's at best a gorilla grip, and maybe even like a Yeti grip.
That's like a King Kong grip.
It is huge. It is huge. It's made for a creature with three fingers.
I forgot how thick that stuff is.
It's a good beer. We've been sitting on that one too long. It's been in the mini fridge forever. Yeah.
It's called aging, Ryan.
This is the classic case of just these poor Mustang bodies being mutilated and ravaged by people who didn't appreciate them into the 70s and the 80s. And they wanted something crazy, and they picked up a pawn shop guitar and just mutilated it.
Yeah, this guy says this would make a cool project body as is with the new coat of paint. Yeah, just paint over all of that.
Yeah, just paint it.
No problem.
Yeah, just paint it.
I have left the copper shielding in the pickup and control cavities. Oh, thanks for that. Strat buttons were also not removed, as were the string guides or what's left of them. There are aftermarket bridge options that would work as well. This is not for the faint of heart.
Oh, man, you got to be brave to play
I
this
just like
bass.
these stickers. I don't really understand them. Like,
the stickers are kind of fun.
Like, what era of existence were you slapping a Zappa for President sticker on, and also something about
voting Bush out,
voting the son of a Bush out? So, like, was this in the 2000s? Like,
and that sticker for the radio station looks very 90s.
Yeah.
The Edge 103.5.
Also, that Sesame Street kid sticker is so edgy.
I love the Sesame Street sticker. I love the relic on it. All these cool stickers that we love are on the back. On the front, you have the really lame Kiss My Sweet Bass.
I think this other sticker
decal
up here says the one cool God.
Yeah, maybe. I actually really like this eyeball art that's on here. It's some sort of decoupage, collage, like eyeballs from magazines all over the bass. I think that's cool. I think that should have been the theme throughout. Just carry that across the bass. Don't do the giant gorilla grip. The other stickers on the front, get rid of them. But the kind of like worn in relic, nasty decoupage thing I'm on board with. But man, that monkey grip ruins the whole thing for me.
All right, how much would you pay for this?
They want $250. I wouldn't pay for this. I'd take this in a trade with a bunch of other stuff. Like, throw in that body, I guess. I'll hang it on the wall as decoration.
Yeah,
just
so
have something awful looking around.
The issue is, like, you can buy this, like, era of guitar. I guess I should look for the bass.
Yeah.
Right.
A skilled woodworker could rescue this. They could cut out a wood plug that would fit in there, and they could Bondo or wood fill around it enough to give you enough to sand, and then just give this a solid finish. You could refin this, but the amount of work involved is probably not worth the trouble. You could probably just buy one of these bodies, right?
Well, so that's the thing is like, so I found a 1967 Fender Mustang bass. Oh, that's just the neck. Jeez, where's the rest of the instrument?
I'm going to search for 68 Mustang bass.
Oh, here
body.
Here's an Olympic white full bass. This is the full bass.
We got the full bass.
They're
here.
saying it's like $1,800. Would you pay $250 for the mangled body of an $1,800 instrument? I wouldn't.
No. I could buy just a blank body for $99 apparently. That's different though. I'm hoping to run into an actual version of this. That looks kind of similar for $350. It's a road-worn style. It's not an original one. But you could get a clean version of like what this is trying to be for not much more than what they're asking.
Right.
And if you're trying to complete like a vintage build, like this thing is so mangled.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. If you're a woodworker and you look at this and you think, oh, I can resurrect this and I can do something interesting with it, then my gut says $100.
I kind of want to, if I somehow stumbled onto this, I'd want to put Lego men in the, like super glue some Lego men into the monkey.
Oh, did I tell you from 2 weeks ago that fish Telecaster that had the fish resin inside of it?
That the guy reached out?
The guy wrote to me and he's like, hey, if you want the Piranha guitar you were talking about, let me know and I'll make it for you.
I saw the messages. I didn't read any of them.
And I very politely asked, how much would something like that cost? And he's like, oh, about $2,800. And I was like, you know what? That's not that crazy. I mean, I don't have the budget for it, but if I did have, Piranha guitar money laying around, he could make it happen, and his builds look really clean.
A bunch of people on that episode.
He's clearly the right guy to do that.
A bunch of people on that episode were like, oh yeah, that's this guy. Like, like they knew who the guy was, or he was local. And then one person said that I don't know if he was mad at you or mad at me, because of our discussion of the words translucent and transparent.
Oh my gosh. So anyways, do you have anything else interesting to say about this bass body?
Nope. Kiss my bass, Ryan. My sweet
kiss
bass.
That sweet, sweet bass.
That big baby bass. What's new, man?
I spent a bunch of time the other day working on my Jaguar. I've had this early to mid MIJ Jaguar since August, maybe?
Yeah.
July-ish, something like that. And I play it from time to time, and I kind of have not been playing it enough because it needed some work. The switch up here had been going bad.
Okay.
So I popped it open and realized that a wire had just completely come loose.
Nice.
So that was an easy fix. I just resoldered that. I bought a replacement for the trim. The original trim had some sort of issue where it would feel like it was catching on something and had like a step to it, and they would never return to tune.
Oh.
So, I mean, if you do subtle stuff with it, it was fine, but you know me, I like to dive. So I was always pushing it out of tune. So I replaced it with this American Vintage reissue that I got off of eBay for a deal. Like, I think I got it for like $55 or something like that. And usually they're like $100.
Yeah.
Some guy was selling it on eBay, and I was like, I got to grab that right now. So I've had this sitting, I don't know if you've noticed it, on top of my reverb unit for months now.
I didn't know what it was.
And
I knew what it was, but I didn't know why.
Then I used the D'Addario guitar care pack thing to give it a nice polish and knock back some of the dirt. So
it looks real clean.
It's all shiny clean.
You can really see where the true dings are now.
Yeah, you can really see where the real dings are and where there just used to be dirt. It even cleaned up the chrome really nice. Yeah. I was worried that the new trim wasn't going to match the original chrome, but it cleaned up the old chrome really nicely. I even put some some fretboard treatment from the D'Addario pack on the fretboard, and it looks really nice and clean now. And what else did I do? Oh, I put a set of 11s of the XTs on this.
Yeah.
And combined with the new trim and the XTs being a little bit bigger and also sliding because they're coated in the nut, it's been super tuning stable. Like right after putting strings on it, like I was sitting on the couch the other night jamming with it and just abusing the bar and didn't have to tune it once. So I'm super stoked. Cool. I'm going to use this thing a heck of a lot more now. I originally, when I got this thing, was thinking I was going to do a bunch of mods to it.
Right.
And get creative with it. But I've just kind of fallen in love with it in its stock condition. I even like all the little weird different like switching eccentricities that Jaguars have. Yeah. Like this is a mid cut here. Mm-hmm. And on the neck position, you cut those mids, it sounds like a really fat bridge pickup. I really like the rhythm circuit. Like these are like the things most people bypass and put other things in there because they're like, oh, I don't use a rhythm circuit. I actually really like the rhythm circuit on my Jaguar.
Well, you know, that was kind of like Mike's whole thing, talking about all that when he was down here, or not when he was down here, but when he did the, or was it when he was down here?
Yeah, it might have been.
Just talking about how like people say, oh, this is this, you know, all of this stuff is dumb and whatever, and he's like, and he was like, well, the first thing is that everyone puts, you know, their favorite string gauge on it. They don't try to use 11s or 12s first. They go straight back to like 9s or 10s, and so. And then they're like, oh, this sounds thin. This sets up the thin. It's like, well, that's because it's like you need a heavier string gauge to hold the bridge in place.
They're shorter scale. They can take a really heavy string. Like you could put 12s on here just fine. And it holds the whole bridge together. And it makes the break angle across the bridge make more sense. And it just, I switched it from 10s to 11s and it felt like it came alive.
I didn't even, like I was messing around with it earlier. I don't even think I realized that it had 11s on it.
Well, when I at NAMM,
and when I mean that is that 24-inch scale thing is like even with added 11s, 11s been like 10s on this scale.
Sure. At NAMM, I was playing at the Surfy Bear booth, and they had this Jazzmaster Jaguar there. I think a Jazzmaster that felt like it had 14s on it. The strings were super fat and still played great. And I was like, I need to put heavier strings on my Jag.
Yeah,
I just do. So I've been talking a lot about moving guitars and like selling stuff. And I was thinking that since this is so much better now, and I'm planning on getting a lot more use out of it, I was thinking maybe I should sell my Squier Jazzmaster. And we were talking about a little bit before recording, and I think you've talked me out of it, but I mean, I don't have anything with Jazzmaster pickups in it. It is a fun guitar. It's a great playing guitar.
Yeah.
It's got a mastery on it. If I was going to sell it, I would salvage that mastery off of it and put a stock Jazzmaster bridge on it. But I'm thinking maybe instead of selling it, because there's other guitars I could sell, I should go on a mod journey with it. Maybe just like an aesthetic mod journey, like maybe a refin thing, changing hardware on it. I really love the neck pickup on it. I love the Jazzmaster neck pickup, but I don't really care about the bridge pickup. So maybe I'll do some kind of different bridge pickup on it. I don't know. But it's a Squier Classic vibe. It feels completely different from the Jaguar.
Yeah. It's a longer scale. The neck shape is different.
The neck shape is very different.
It's very classic vibe. Like it's a great neck.
Yeah. But it's fatter and like wider feeling.
It's also like way grosser.
Yeah, I need to clean it. So I should figure out what I'm going to do with this. Take the strings off, do what I'm going to do, put new strings on it, and get experimental with this guitar. I was thinking kind of like maybe my first step of changing the look on it is steel wool the finish and take it from gloss to matte.
That could be interesting.
Because it's got that kind of like nice black to red to yellow burst here.
Just make sure you
I could always polish it back.
Tape off your magnetics.
Oh, sure. I could I would remove everything before. I would take it down to just the body.
That's true.
I could always polish it back to shine if I wanted to, because this finish is totally thick enough, and I have polishing equipment. But I've always really appreciated like a matte finish on a sunburst.
Right.
But I kind of want to swap the pickguard too. I don't know. It gives me ideas. I've got ideas for projects now. So I think I'm going to, instead of selling this, I think I'm going to sell that Harley Benton MS-60 or contest it out or something.
Do you think you can actually get anything for that thing?
I think I could contest it out and do like a fun thing. It's not in here.
Oh, okay.
It's in a case in the other room.
I was looking around.
Yeah. You got anything new?
I got a new couch.
Couch talk.
I got a Kivik from IKEA. It took about 2.5 hours to build.
Nice.
And I guess.
What do you have to build on that?
You just have to
You have to put the cover on.
You basically have to attach the base to like the seat part to the back, and you have to attach the arms, and somewhere in there you got to attach the covers.
IKEA Kivik. I'm gonna look up.
It just takes up a ton. Like it takes up a ton of space. We got the that
looks classy.
The full sectional.
Yeah. What color did you get?
The medium gray. So I think that one where your thumb is right now. No, the other one.
That one.
That one.
That's cool. Let me know how it wears. I want to get a new couch for the living room.
It needs to wear some because right now it's like super stiff.
Right.
But I know the ones in the store were pretty comfortable. So I think they'll break in.
A firm couch though.
You do?
I do want a firm couch.
Well, so this is supposed to be like all kind of like memory foam-ish.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it basically the firmness depends on how rough you are on it. Maybe.
So the couch you had, was that the couch that you had when you guys got married and moved in there?
No.
You had a replacement before then.
It was a replacement one. We had that brown couch. Do you remember the brown couch?
I don't remember.
How dare you?
Sorry.
I
don't know all your couches.
Our place is so small, actually. I don't even know if we like almost never have company because we can't really have more than two people over at a time. And with the kids, it's like those are our two people.
Well, we've got a big old place, relatively speaking for San Diego's terms. And like when the kids are doing kid stuff, it feels like no one can be anywhere near this house. It's bananas here.
Yeah.
We've got the same couch as we had when we got married over a decade ago. And they've seen better days. I've had to cut open the bottom of one of the couches and rescue it a few times because like the beams inside have rusted loose.
Oh yeah, see, our couch was like the issue that we had with the old couch with two issues. One, it was microfiber, so any kind of water that got in it was like really stainy. And then the other issue is that it had attached, like everything was attached, and they were like really stretching out.
Oh, like the cushions were attached.
The cushions were attached,
so
it was getting like super stretched out. So like you'd just be like you'd sit in it, and because like I'm friggin' on a couch, so I'm like.
This is good podcasting right here. Guitar stuff.
Like just laying back, and then I'd get up and I'd look at it, and like the cushion would be like 6 inches off the front end.
To bring it around to guitar stuff, if I got a new couch, I kind of like what you're getting, where the armrests are really low. We've got high armrests on our couch. It makes it hard to sit and play guitar.
I wouldn't have even thought of that.
If I could get a couch with low armrests,
well, there you go, man. It'd
be super nice.
IKEA, give us an affiliate link.
We've got those IKEA couches in the other I don't know what to call that space. It's attached to the kitchen, but it's like a little like hangout area.
It's a family.
And we don't use those couches hard, but they've survived really well. They're still in really good shape.
Technically, that space would be a living room, and your living room would be a den. I don't know. How
I think of the use as the other one as more of a den.
See, I don't know what.
Like a den is more like occasional hangout, and a living space is like all the time hangout.
Oh, gotcha. All right, this week's album is. I don't want to talk.
Couch talk.
I don't want to get that deep into couches.
I want to get so deep in a couch. I never want to get out. This album is Effloresce by Covet.
I think it's Effloresce.
Effloresce?
Effloresce.
You'd know better than me. You know how to read. And I just kind of fake it.
This was the 2018 release from the band Covet, which is Yvette Young's band, who this year got a signature guitar with Ibanez.
I didn't know anything about her, and then I tried her guitar at NAMM, and I freaking fell in love with it. It's super cool guitar. It's like slime, sparkly green Talman with single coils. Of course, I'm gonna love it. And then we went and listened to this album today, and I'm ready to talk about it. What do you think,
let's
Steve?
Talk about it. What do you think about this? What do you think about this album?
It is I mean, it's funny because we've been listening to classic albums and they're like proper albums. They're like 12, 15 songs.
Yeah, this was
and you can feel the line between like, here's the singles and here's the B-sides. This is very much a collection of songs from our era of song making where it's like, does an album make sense? Let's put out an EP. It's like, here's a collection of songs that go together, and none of this is going to make the radio. So why even bother trying to make a pop song? Let's make the music that we make. Like, that's the vibe I get off of it, you know?
Yeah.
It's not made with any concern for like, let's make a radio hit. It's made for like, let's do the thing that we do. Here's it. Like, deal with it.
Because
none of this is ever going to get played on the radio, right? Like, this is never going to be on anybody's pop list. Like, this is very kind of like nerdy, mathy, proggy.
Yeah. So
like not for everyday people sort of stuff.
So do you listen to this kind of music ever?
No.
Okay. So,
but I mean, I don't avoid it.
I think NAMM was the first space where I heard Yvette Young. Was when she was doing the pickup demo at the Seymour Duncan booth. Before then, I don't think I'd listened to Covet. I'd heard her name thrown around a lot, but I just hadn't listened to it. But this style of music, I actually listened to, I think, a decent amount of music within this genre.
Interesting.
And particularly in, I don't know if and this is a full circle, and it's going to get kind of,
here we go.
Maybe angry. Maybe this is maybe this should have been the introduction to emo. Is I should have made you listen to American football, which would have been double fun because it would have been a mathy emo band that has a sports name. But like this like kind of like music where it's like not necessarily tapping, but these like musical loops and like super melodic guitar lines. Was like one of like my big exposures going like young when I was younger, and then I kind of like just got away from it. But there's definitely a lot of bands. Some of them are more like mathy like this. Others are more just kind of like I don't know if ambient's the right word.
Sure.
But like Explosions in the Sky or Mogwai. So anyway, I super enjoyed this album, but I am in kind of the same space where it's like, this is the kind of music that I would just put on and like, just let it happen. Let it happen to you, man.
Here's some of my notes. Aggressively chill mood.
Like aggressively,
like the playing and the musicianship of it all, the skill of it all is very aggressive, and there's a lot going on. But even though it's very busy and very like ADD and constantly changing, there's something relaxing and just chill about it. Like just the overall mood of it. I'm not quite sure how to describe it or wrap my head around that. One of my thoughts was, I wonder how much of this I could play.
Oh my gosh.
Going back to what you just said, this is great soundtrack of your life type music, background for whatever you happen to be doing.
Yeah. Yeah. This kind of music I think is really fun, like for, whatever you're doing, but it's also like, I mean, it's just like zone out. And I aggressively chill is such like an apt, because like if you ever watch like videos of math rock groups, there's so much happening. And if you really like...
Is that technically what this is? Is this math rock?
I would call it math.
All right.
I mean, I don't know what else you call it. It's like indie, whatever. Wikipedia calls it math.
Cool.
Math.
It felt like math when I was listening to it. Like long division. Like this song is long division.
Oh my gosh. I want to start a band called Long Division, but it's like not math because I'm not good at guitar.
It's like grammar rock. It's history rock.
Everything about this is like it's just really smooth, and first thing that caught me is the first track, and we listened to it on Bandcamp. I'll actually post a link to the Bandcamp in the show notes.
One of my thoughts on it too was that there's during the time in my life when I was going to like open mics and things like that,
Yeah.
and going to, you know, local shows and whatever, there was a certain genre of player who had learned how to do this double tapping thing on acoustic guitars.
Right.
And they would stand on stage and they would just do this trick that they had learned over and over again. And none of it would sound like a song. This sounds like the evolution of that trick. Where it is a lot of the double tapping, it's a lot of two-handed technique, but it's come around into making something more than just like, look at me play this technique. It's come into like, here are musical ideas, here are, you know, concepts, and here are songs. Even though these songs are very ADD, and I say that as someone with ADD, by the way, don't say that I'm speaking out of class.
Remember the last time you said you were ADD and someone commented that you were probably ADHD?
I'm not. I know what I am. So anyways, but it changed, like the songs kind of like explore completely different directions at least 4 or 5 times per song.
Yeah.
And it's just not what I was experiencing when I was seeing people playing this style at open mic nights years and years ago, like that over a decade ago. It seems like it's just really matured and it's become a much stronger concept.
I think some of that is what happens when you have like a full band behind it. Like,
absolutely.
It has to kind of like have more of a direction. It can't just, while I mean, those like acoustic guys, it's not like they were like totally ad-libbed, but there was definitely like
and girls, not just guys.
Definitely like a skill demonstration.
Right. It kind of felt like when you watch someone play Chapman Stick at the county fair.
Right.
And it's like, even with Chapman Stick, like someone will play like a song, but it feels like this is more about technique than song.
Right.
It's like, oh, cool. Yeah, you figured out how to play bass lines and rhythm parts and melody lines at the same time. Awesome. Now, can you just play a simple song that means something? Where this isn't playing simple songs, but it's playing stuff that's like its own thing. Like it's unique. Like it's its own song. It's its own music. It's not just a demonstration of technique.
Yeah.
Exists for its own purpose, to be the music that it is. Does that make sense? Am I just rambling?
No, I mean, I think that's true. And I think, you know,
it's not music for technique's sake. It's music for the music's sake.
Right. I think if you liked this, you know, okay. It's like you said, like you haven't ever really like dove into like this style of music, not to get away from Covet, because this is definitely like a top-notch example of this style. But you know, send us suggestions of artists you think Ryan should listen to that are similar.
Sure. I really enjoyed that it was all instrumental too. I mean, I obviously love instrumental music,
and so this is one like, so I think. Yeah,
I have a feeling if I put that on in the car, actually, I can't speak for sure, but if I put it on in the car, I wonder how my wife would react to it. Would it drive her bonkers, or would she be relaxed by it?
What would my wife think?
Call back to early episodes. Yeah. What do you think? Have you shown Melissa this kind of music, or does she listen to this music on her own?
I don't think Melissa listens to music on her own.
Yeah, how do you think she would react to it?
I don't know. I think if I put it on in the car, it'd probably be okay. But I think she would absorb it, and then she would reference it at a surprising time years later. Yeah, but it would probably be like, "Hey, remember that one time you put on this music that just was a bunch of like guitars doing loopy things?" Because I think that my wife is the kind of person who needs vocals to ground the music.
I don't know about vocals, but I would see her needing stronger melody lines, where this isn't melody music. Like you're not humming any of this music. I don't think there was any part in any of these songs where it's like, oh, that's the melody hook, and I could like.
Oh, for sure. There's definitely not a hook.
That,
you can definitely get these songs stuck in your head. As we've talked about this, I just suddenly have Never Meant by American Football looping in my brain, which, you know, is what it is. But
I'm glad I don't know what that sounds like, so it's not happening to me.
No. Yeah.
Any final thoughts, Steve? Or is your brain broken?
No, I think that's about all I got. Yeah, I don't know, indie rock, math rock, whatever you want to call it.
I'm just kind of excited that people in general seem to be excited about this very instrumental music that is very guitar oriented, but isn't more of the same like shredder schlock, like classic rock throwback sort of thing, or like blues rock throwback sort of thing. Like it feels fresh.
Yeah.
And there's definitely like a high level of skill going on with the execution of these songs. I think it's cool. I think it's exciting. I hope there's more stuff like this in the future. And I think people should be listening to stuff like this and introducing their non-guitarist friends to music like this. And like, hey, listen to this cool, aggressively chill music that I've been listening to. It will hold you down and whisper in your ear softly, and you will not be able to fight it. You want to...
Hold on, I'm going to read something.
All right, read it.
No, I'm not going to read it on the thing. I just wanted to.
Oh, you want to read it to yourself silently on a podcast?
Post rock was the other thing post rock and math rock are kind of. Post rock is math rock without the math.
Yeah,
it's like that. That's that ambient genre I was trying to think of earlier. Is post rock.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, this episode is brought to you by Chase Bliss Audio.
That's right.
They make pedals more creative than you are. They've got a full lineup of everything except a flange.
Don't ask about flangers. They don't make flangers. They tried it. They're not doing it anymore.
But go check out their lineup at www.chaseblisaudio.com.
I use the Dark World all the time. That has become my spacey, octavey, shimmery, like disappear into ambience machine when I'm playing at church or at home. I love the Dark World. It's such a cool reverb. And there's so many like weird things you can do with it and normal things you can do with it too. And I love that about Chase Bliss is that you can do normal stuff, like stuff you would expect in a normal version of that pedal. And you can do stuff that you could never accomplish with any other pedal that's ever been created. Chase Bliss Audio. They make pedals more creative than you are. Steve already said that, but it's a good line, and I'm proud of it. We came up with that. That's our line. Chase Bliss didn't tell us to say that. We came up with it. Copyright, trademark. Topic?
Yeah, this first topic was sent by, was it Simon?
I screen grabbed it. I should pull it up. Where did you go? Simon Jeffries. He asked, why are pickguards made with the most vile patterns? In fact, why can't you just pick the color of the pickguard when you buy the guitar? That would be interesting if when you bought a new guitar, if you ordered it online, you could choose, like say you can, as it is right now, you can choose between 3 colors of paint, usually a handful of paint options.
Yeah.
It would be neat if you could mix and match pickguards with any, newish guitar order. I know that's hard for retailers. You'd have to be ordering direct from the builder. But I don't know. That's kind of a fun idea. But I think there are certain color combinations that are just classic. You can't argue with a white pickguard or a black pickguard against most colors. I don't know what Steve's doing right now. He's texting.
Yeah, it's very strange.
It's very strange that Steve is texting.
No, I'm getting odd text messages from my wife.
Oh, okay. The couch is haunted. Come home.
She thinks she heard the dryer close. Like she was asleep upstairs, and then she thinks she heard the dryer close.
I'm telling you, that couch is haunted.
She messaged me if I was home. And I said, no, I'm still recording. She goes, but I just heard a sound downstairs. Like a distinctive sound.
We are recording on Friday the 13th.
All right, so yeah, I don't know. Back in the day, did you have more options? All right, sometimes you get pickguard options because it's like...
I don't think we've ever had more options than we have now. I think now is the golden age of options. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah. You know, back in the day, what was it? Like the classic Fender colors were just white, red, and blue.
Right.
But did they all have the same? I guess they would have all had the
or
same
sunburst. And you would either get a white pickguard or you would get a tortoise pickguard. And I don't think black pickguards were really a thing until maybe the 70s.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of early examples.
I mean,
at least
thinking of
Fenders,
a
like
Fender.
Gibson,
Yeah,
you know,
Gibson's
you
had black pickguards. When was the earliest Fender with a black pickguard? I'm going to ask Google. Here, I'll use the voicing. Earliest Fender with a black pickguard. Wow, it is so confused. Oh my gosh. Earliest Fender with a black person pick. Well, it's so... Oh, okay, I've ruined this.
What?
Screw it. Someone else answer that question. Let us know down in the comments. Well, like, what kind of options would you like to see, Steve? Like, what is he talking about with like ugly patterns? Is he talking about moto, or is he talking about tortoise? Like, what is going on?
You know, that I don't know if I really understand, because I just think of pickguards as being like white or black, or I guess pearloid, and pearloid would be where you start getting into like something that might be ugly.
I think a lot of times pearloid is ugly, but sometimes it just works perfectly against certain colors. I think a lot of times tortoise has the same problem. It could be somewhere between beautiful and hideous. So maybe that's what he's talking about. Maybe he's talking about the cut pattern, like the shape pattern. I don't know. I generally like a bit of pickguard on all my guitars. I don't like guitars that don't have any pickguard at all, because it just gives you a nice like visual tension and visual weight. Steve's still figuring out the haunted situation in his house.
This is all very strange. And it is Friday the 13th.
Just tell her to walk downstairs with a gun and start shooting wildly.
I don't have a gun.
Well, there's your problem.
I know.
Just shoot at the dryer.
I thought that dryer broke like a week ago. And
the ghost fixed it. Your house is super haunted right now. Are you gonna be able to finish the episode, Steve? Are you too shook?
I'm not shook. I just don't know if I'm gonna be demanded to come home. The pickguard designs, yeah, I don't know. I don't like moto on some things. I don't know. Like, I like kind of all pickguards, and I don't know what like a weird design would be. Like,
I don't like it when there's like
tortoiseshell a weird design.
I don't think so. I don't like it when there's like photo designs or like printed designs, you know, or like faked texture designs.
Right.
Like if there's like a diamond plate pickguard, like get out of town. No way.
You see that ghost drop my phone?
This is hot podcasting right now. This is the good stuff.
The thing is like, so then what's that company up the coast that does the pickguards?
What? I have no idea, dude. The company up the coast that does the pickguards. Well, we're in San Diego, so you could be talking.
No, they're like Central Coast. They're like
all the way up to Alaska, I guess.
They're like Central Coast.
Central
Deco Boom.
Oh, are they in California?
I thought they were.
For some reason, I always assumed they were in Austin or something.
Maybe I'm just think they're in. Maybe I just want everything cool to be in California.
Oh, most things that are cool are in California, Steve.
It's true.
Deal with it. Everyone else, everywhere else. We got all the cool stuff here. We got the beaches. We've got the sunset. We've got avocados. And we've got Deco Boom, maybe. Oh, and also we've got ghosts in Steve's house that he's still texting about.
Well, I'm just thinking of Deco Boom because they make some really cool pickguard designs.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like when
Sometimes
I think about a stock pickguard, I'm like,
they're fine.
I definitely do see pickguard designs where I'm like, I don't like that color on that body. And I will say what is kind of a mess, and not every company, Fender is the main culprit here, is, there's all these different pickguard designs. And even when you figure out like, oh, I counted the screws, I need a 13 screw pickguard. Right. Even between 13 screw pickguards, those screws will be in different positions.
Yeah.
And
there's like a million different versions of like a Jazzmaster pickguard.
Yeah.
So you'll never be able to find a replacement.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking of like Strats, but once you get into like the Jags or the offsets and stuff, like it gets really ugly.
I kind of don't like this tort on the Sunburst. I kind of wish it was white on Sunburst.
I could see white, but I'm
holding up my Squire Jag.
I would not use.
Jazzmaster.
I wouldn't do white. I'd do either parchment or mint.
Parchment would be nice. You know what would look really nice is anodized.
Gold, like the anodized gold.
Anodized gold on this, or even anodized silver.
I don't know if I can visualize that.
I can.
That's because you're an artist, or because you actually know what it looks like, and I don't.
I used my imagination.
Ooh.
I also would like. I like single ply pickguards. I would not mind a nice thin single ply white pickguard on there, as like a classy flat sort of look instead of like the multi-ply look. Also, like a Jazzmaster, nothing is hanging off of that pickguard. Everything is screwed into the body. The pickups are screwed in the body. All those control plates are screwed into the body. So it doesn't matter if the pickguard's kind of thin. I just think that would be kind of a neat look. Be a little bit thinner, a little bit lighter looking.
Right.
Steve's really hung up on this ghost. He can't stop thinking about it.
No, I'm trying to think of anything else to say about pickguards.
What's the ugliest pickguard you can think of? Like
the red tortoise.
Yeah, the red tortoise can be pretty ugly.
Especially every once in a while, I see red tortoise pop up on like cobalt blue.
Oh yeah.
And
I don't like that moto that is just the stark white moto that is like so crisp looking that it like hurts your eyes. Like when I see moto that I like, it's kind of like aged yellow and still really deep and iridescent, but it's like a softer iridescence.
Right.
Like with bigger cells. Like the modern bright white moto, like the cells in it are really tight and compact.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know.
I've never seen Steve like this. He's shook. He's white as a ghost.
I just don't know anything about pickguards. Well, I mean, I know what pickguards are, and I know what colors I like. I remember, like, actually thinking about that, like, the Sunburst, because I think of that Sunburst jazz bass I had like a parchment pickguard.
Yeah, that was real classy.
Yeah.
I put parchment on my V.
I like the way that pickguard looks on your V.
It yellowed super bad.
Oh, well, maybe I just haven't seen it in a while then. Ryan's pulling it down. Oh, yeah, that's very...
It was hanging near a window, and it yellowed the pickguard super bad. It was like stark white when I cut that pickguard. Weird. So I want to where'd my little bar go? It must be in a case somewhere. I want to recut the pickguard and have the white contrast going on. I might redo this guitar, too, to have a hot rail on the bridge pickup. This guitar wants to be metal. It wants to be fast and high gain.
Doesn't it? This gold sparkle.
I know, but the way it plays, like it just wants to be fast. Because it's a V, like big surprise, Ryan. You tried to make a flying V that would play like a surf guitar, and instead it still just plays like a flying V.
Huge mistake. Huge.
Way to carry the show, Steve, while I was doing something.
No problem. I'm letting everyone recover from that huge joke I just made.
Nice huge joke there.
All right, this next ad was sent by Daniel Esporma. It says, Lovey's guitar has up for grabs this awesome 1974 Fender Stratocaster and a gorgeous walnut mocha finish. This guitar is absolutely awesome. It has an original neck pickup, but the bridge is a very special Gibson Tim Shaw pickup, which was produced by Gibson from 1980 to 1985. These humbuckers are some of the most collectible pickups of all time and are sought for their phenomenal tone and versatility. The bridge pickup is a DiMarzio PAF, which is very popular as the strap locks and one of the knobs replaced. It is in great vintage shape. If it's had everything replaced, it's not really in great vintage shape, right?
Fantastic, pristine vintage shape. Nothing is original.
The finish is excellent and looks great. It has some markings, but nothing unexpected for the age. No breaks, cracks, or repairs. Blah, 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 blah. This guitar does look pretty freaking cool.
It really kind of does. I saw this thing pop up and I was like, that is kind of sexy.
Is that even the original bridge from that era?
I don't know. Is that a finish that was a thing? I don't think I've ever seen this finish before. This
I don't
walnut
think I have
mocha.
either.
It's like, it's the sort of thing, like if someone described it to you, you're like, oh, that sounds kind of boring. But there's something about it with that black pickguard, white pickups with the satin nickel humbucker in the middle position, just everything working together. Looks really slick and classy. It even looks good with the 70s headstock with the bullet truss sticking out.
I like the 70s headstock with the bullet truss. I don't like it without the bullet truss.
This is a sharp looking guitar, and it looks like it's going to sound good. Does that make sense? Like, you look at those pickups and you're like, this thing's going to sound good.
The Tim Shaw humbucker in the middle position is a little jarring to me.
Well, that's like the MC5 sort of loadout.
Right.
Like the humbucker in the middle position on a 70s Strat. Like, that is Wayne Kramer. That's the guy's name, right?
Yes.
That is like just pure MC5 right there. It just doesn't have the American flag motif.
Right. So this does appear to be an original finish that Fender offered.
Really?
I wish I could get more examples of it to load, but there's one from 2017, and right next to it is one from the 70s.
Oh yeah, I've seen Mustangs in this finish. I didn't make that connection. Walnut Mocha. They should redo that finish. They should reissue something with a Walnut Mocha finish.
I guess I've never heard it called Walnut Mocha.
Yeah.
Because the 72 Telecaster reissues were in that color. That was like, I just thought it was brown.
It looks different for some reason though. This feels a little different.
Yeah. No,
maybe
this
it's
one
just
is
the lighting.
This one's really warm.
Yeah.
Usually when I see them, they're more of I feel like a little darker and a little redder.
It does look like a hot drink. Like a mocha.
This DiMarzio pickup has a patent applied for sticker on it, but the guy who posted this was asking about it. And I guess that was like a different pickup that they had out there. For the life of me, I don't remember what the name of it was.
It's a different looking kind of single coil. It's not a PAF like the humbucker. It's something else that had a patent applied for.
No. And the thing is people call these DiMarzio patent applied fors, and so then they get confused with the Gibson PAFs,
right,
which are also patent applied for, and because that's just a sticker that says like, we made this thing and we applied for a patent.
Yeah, don't copy it. We promise we're gonna own it someday. But this guitar looks well played, but also well cared for its age. Like, you can see that the tuners were swapped out and someone very skillfully doweled the holes and did a really clean job of that. You know, the modification to the pickguard with the humbucker is really clean.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it doesn't have different saddles on the bridge, because that's like that cheap looking saddle.
Yeah, I was kind of confused about that as well. I was trying to figure out if that's what would have been on this era of Strat, but I don't think it would be.
Yeah, I've always seen saddles like that on like 80s guitars.
Yeah.
But you never know. I mean, maybe that was an upgrade they did in the 80s because they're like, oh, this is the hot new saddle design versus the punched steel design.
I guess.
But I would swap those saddles. Would I go full modern, like those big brick saddles, or would I go punch steel? I think I'd go punch steel on this.
You gotta go punch steel.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that would be the right look for this. I think the big block modern ones are just too modern for what this guitar wants. Yeah, I think that's very charming. And it's only like $2,000, right? No, $1,995. For 74, I don't know what 74s usually go for.
No, that's a decent price.
Yeah.
All things considered. I mean, I think 74s you could probably get a little bit more at this point for one of these, but given the modifications, I think that's more
This is in Los
fair.
Angeles.
And you know what? It looks like these saddles might actually be
stock.
Is like the stock saddle from that era.
There you go.
I'm finding some other
Shows what I know.
70s Strats that have the same
style
bridge.
This is a side tangent. I've seen people every now and then online criticize us by saying that we don't know everything or anything or very much. I just want to say,
Pick one.
That's kind of the point. We're regular people, and this is the way we talk about gear, and we're including you in it, the listener. And it's not about us being experts. It's not about us knowing everything. And
I'm going to let you talk about whatever you're talking about for now.
Are you going to go pee?
I am, sir.
It's not about us knowing everything or being encyclopedias. We do know some things, but it's more about the journey. It's more about exploring this hobby that we love. And, you know, all the information is out there. We don't have to like study up on stuff and try to act like we know everything before we present it in a podcast. We're going on a journey together and we're taking you with us. So that's my 2 cents on that line of thought. And now I'll edit Steve coming back from the bathroom. He has returned. All right. Do we have a sponsor?
We don't.
I just want to say, if you are someone who's listening who runs a company or you're part of a company that produces gear or something else you'd like to advertise on the podcast, hit us up. We've got open sponsor spots and you're listening. Lots of other people are listening. I'd say an estimated 5,000 people listen to each new episode in its first month that it goes live.
Yeah.
So there's a real audience there of people who are intimately interested in music instruments and their purchase and collectability and just thinking about them all day. It's a marketable audience.
And now that you've begged for money, Scott Hamilton says that in honor of the impending coronavirus pandemic and Friday the 13th.
Can you talk, Steve? Are you okay?
I'm
telling you guys, Steve is shook by this ghost situation.
He requests a somber reflection on our friendship.
All right.
I don't think I can do this. Just start laughing.
If I was a ghost, what would you say about me, Steve? Because that's clearly all you're thinking about right now.
Actually, it's funny, semi-related. Somebody posted this thing today that was like, basically just type the @ to bring up like people to tag, and the third person on the list is the person that you have to like survive the apocalypse with.
Oh my gosh.
And my person was Adam. I don't know what that is actually based on, like how Facebook generates those lists.
It's probably rando.
I don't think it's completely rando, but
yeah. I'm going to say, Steve, even though we're likely dead at this point when this airs, thankfully someone's edited it and published it for us. We are dead from the coronavirus now. Or from looters, roving packs of cannibals.
The ghost at my house.
The ghost in your house. I really have had a fantastic time doing this show with you, Steve, and making all this content with you and what we've built based on really just two friends chatting about guitar gear on microphones instead of just doing it over Instant Messenger.
Yeah. Yeah. When we started out, it was like, oh, we'll do this thing. And I think I always thought like, oh yeah, we'll still be doing this in like 5 years, 6 years or whatever. But then to still be doing it is like really kind of nuts. And then
have it be slightly profitable every now and then.
And like to the every once in a while, because I have this app called, I don't know what it's called. It's got a dinosaur in it. Time Hop.
Okay.
And it's like basically like you can log in, like you can use it to log into your different social media accounts, and then it will tell you like what you posted on that day. So every once in a while, like pictures from when we were like in what I think is now would eventually be Edith's room. Does Edith have her own room?
Yeah, that's her room.
And it's like, oh man, like we used to just sit like facing each other, yelling at each other across the room, like voices bouncing it through microphones.
Yeah. It was a terrible situation acoustically in there.
Yeah, so
it was a nightmare to edit.
Here we are in a faux studio
in the corner of a garage, which is much better acoustically. But yeah, it's been a long, weird trip, and it's definitely weird to be 6 years into it and have it just suddenly start feel like it's making sense financially.
I mean, anyways, it was never supposed to make sense financially.
No, it's always supposed to be a hobby, and foolishly, I took it too far. Anyways, I'm sad that we're both dead from coronavirus now.
Yeah, me too.
Or
being dead sucks.
Yeah, being dead sucks. I hate it.
Now the ghost that killed me in my house has to deal with the fact that I'm haunting my own house.
Yeah, you're haunting the house and having to. It's like you're subletting.
Yeah. Come on, man. What's up with that?
By the time that this episode airs, like this whole thing might be over, or it might be so much worse.
We don't even know.
Hello, future Ryan. Comment on YouTube and Facebook about what has happened in the events since this episode was recorded.
Did you just tell yourself to comment?
Yes. Update me, future self, so I know what's happening. Dear
Ryan, doesn't
Ryan,
make any sense.
when you recorded this episode, we were on the verge of a mass catastrophe.
I just imagined the beginning of Doogie Howser, MD, when he started doing that, where he's like typing his diary on like the old computer.
A deep throwback. Damn, son.
I'm surprised no one's tried to reboot Doogie Howser.
They should just follow up with him. That actor could still play himself and just be like, "Oh yeah, I'm still a doctor.
He's probably not doing anything. Like, I don't know. Is Neil Patrick Harris doing something?
Yeah, he's always working. I don't know.
Like,
I am.
Is How I Met Your Mother still on?
I am still a doctor, and I am still just as competent, although I am of appropriate age now. You know what would be funny is a Doogie Howser reboot, but he has to deal with some hot new kid who should be in junior high, but he works as a doctor.
I'm thinking,
and he's like, "Kid, I was you. You're insufferable. Was I this way? Damn, this sucks."
Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Doogie Howser reboot.
This episode is off the rails. Similar to a Crazy Train.
Doogie Howser reboot. House in the style of House. Young kid. Doogie Howser. But now Doogie Howser is this crotchety old man.
Yeah,
who just
who's seen it
hates
all.
everybody.
And who's kind of like, you don't need to know everything. Everything I solve is with instinct now. I threw all the books in the trash. Knowledge is for suckers. And then Steve is writing this down because he's going to write a spec script and pitch it.
False. I just realized I had not picked a song for the end.
We're going to go full Hollywood. All right, should we hit this last ad and get out of
Let's
here?
do some housekeeping first.
Yeah.
Housekeeping is a time of the show where we thank new supporters of the show. This week at the $1 level is Caden Luttrell.
I love those $1.
At the $5 level is
What?
Vorp FX.
No way.
Who makes, I think they make the Dodo, right?
Yeah, they made the Dodo that they sent to me.
Dodo, the double DOD, the Dodo.
I must have it somewhere because it's not on that shelf. Dodo, where
Were
are
you messing around with it for your shootout recently that you did?
Yeah, it might be somewhere. I don't know where I put it. It might be in one of those drawers. There it is. Steve found it. I need to get more of these shelves for the wall so I have everything up.
Vorp FX, the Dodo.
He did a great job on the thing. Thanks for supporting us on Patreon.
If you'd like to support the show, it helps put these IKEA shelves on the wall.
It really does.
Sends Ryan to Summer NAMM. Sends me to other things. Sometimes
I'm going to go on a trip here very soon, thanks to Patreon money.
Yeah.
And to make some really cool content
Oh yeah.
with someone more famous than me.
Every dollar you guys support us with counts. You know, we say it all the time, but like if everybody who listens to the show gave $1, like that would kind of be almost a full income.
Well, listen, if everyone on the show gave $1, it could replace more than replace the parts of my income that I'm supporting with other kinds of work. I could do this fully full-time. Yeah. Instead of partially full-time.
Yeah. All right. You ready? So go. Yeah. Sorry. Before we move on, patreon.com/60cyclehumcast, I think. You know, one of these days I'll actually look it up and write it down.
We have an email address.
60cyclehumcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
All right. This last ad was sent by Isaac Arbeck. It's a status, the groove bass autographed by President Trump. The description is, this may be your only chance to buy a guitar personally signed by the president, Donald Trump, our 45th president, parentheses, or perhaps by any other president. This status, the groove bass, was signed in Chicago many years ago when he was shooting The Apprentice. The autograph is in black marker and has a clear plastic film over the signature area so it won't get rubbed off. That's actually kind of smart. That looks just like a piece of packing tape, but whatever. Unfortunately, I have no way to authenticate the signature. So, however, an authentic hand-signed Trump autograph. The bass is made in England by Status, which I feel like is kind of ironic. A triple coil pick. Maybe that's why Travel to Europe is banned, but not the UK because of this bass.
Because of this bass, yeah.
Triple coil pickup and 2 band equipment, EQ, put it in the Music Man sound range. There's some neck and body finish chips, dents that can be seen and felt but do not affect playability. Blah, 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 blah. When I wanted to do this ad, I told Ryan this was a one and done. Ryan asked me how much I would pay for this.
Steve, how much would you pay for this?
Billions and billions and billions and billions. And this week's song was sent by Blue Light Special. Matt in Blue Light Special. He said, I thought I'd throw you another tune off our latest EP, Chains, available on Bandcamp at, quote, name your price, i.e. free. This song is called All Connected and features a Dan Electro 12-string. Why didn't I hit the download button earlier?
Here we go.
Tried to call you on the phone, disconnected, feel so all alone. My morale is at an all-time low. Went too far when we were young. I stopped speaking in my native tongue. I can't remember who I really am. Say goodbye to all my friends. Race towards the bitter end. It's all connected. Sound of ringing bells, recitations of those ancient spells, making zombies out of living men. No one ever heeds a call. Your religion always seemed bizarre, marching orders never moved my feet. Stocks are at an all-time low. Tip the waitress when you go. It's all connected. In a restless mood, show the world my piss poor attitude. The day is dawning, feeling like my last. Sharp petite cap in a jar by the bedside, so I know where they are in case I need them. Need them in my sleep. There's no one keeping score. What's the point in wanting more? Find my feet and leave the room. It's always been my go-to move. It's all connected.
I like that wah ending.
I always like those vocals where like everything drops out and then it's like super panned like gang vocal.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the songs people have been singing us are like way better lately?
They might be.
I feel like the quality's been bumped up, or maybe it's just because I notice them more now that we listen to them together in room. I don't know.
I don't know. We have been getting a lot of comments lately that people really like the songs. So
Yeah.
if you like the songs, definitely click on the link in the show notes and check out these artists.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Stay grounded.